Hello everybody, race fans from around the world. It's time for eSeniors again. It is live. I've kept forgetting to tell everybody that when they watch this afterwards that we are live instead of on replay. I am with Jonathan Wood today again. Say hello, Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan. We are on round 4. Somebody said round 6 today, but we're on round 4 at IMOLA. Group 1, league race. And let's just get right over to seeing some screen action here. There we go. Let's make sure it's on the streams. Yeah, there we go. It's on Twitch. So good day, everybody. I see there's 6 people watching on YouTube, and apologize. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the game sounds on today. So don't comment on that, but you can comment on how our volumes are. I know there's Peter's on. Peter David already put something in the chat, so give us a little note there about how the volumes are for both me and for Jonathan. Jonathan, Imola, one of your favorite tracks?
Just the drive, you know, it's fantastic. Obviously, it's got so much history as well. You know, the Autodromo Enzo Ferrari, very close to the Ferrari factory. Obviously, the Italian fans go crazy. You've got like every corner has a brilliant name. Like, it's just fantastic to commentate on this track. So much history, some good, a lot of it bad, unfortunately. You know, obviously the loss of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger in 1994, which changed so much in Formula One and changed this circuit as well. You know, what can you say? You know, this circuit has everything. Some amazing battles that we've seen in the past in F1. Some amazing battles we've seen in eSeniors, right? So
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Great for racing. I don't think there's anyone who doesn't like this track. So, you know, it's definitely the top of my list for you know, most liked tracks for sure.
But one of the things that's interesting about it, it's one of the few that's counterclockwise track.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of the few.
Not too many. And of course, the accidents we're referring to were Senna. The Sunday of the 1994 Grand Prix, Tamburello.
Yeah, I mean, that corner, you know, as it was, you know, flat out bend. And I remember, you know, a few years before that, in 1989, you had Gerhard Berger in a Ferrari went off there, and he went straight into the wall, smashed the car to bits. The fuel tank ruptured, the whole thing was engulfed in flames, and, you know, and he was barely injured. You know, he literally he was okay. He missed like one race, I think, but you know, that kind of switched you on to how ferocious this track was. You know, back then, you know, before they made the changes after 1994. There's a Villeneuve corner as well. That's now the Villeneuve chicane, and you know, the old track, I think it was in 1981. Gilles Villeneuve, he crashed there like really spectacularly. It was a very similar looking crash to actually the one that killed Roland Ratzenberger, but you know, Gilles got out. He managed to get out of the car that time.
And that was also on the Ratzenberger, the same weekend as Senna. On the Saturday.
Yeah. But they named that corner after Gilles Villeneuve because he crashed there. But he lived to tell the tale at that time. But yeah, great track. It has a little bit of everything. You've got hairpins. You've got 2 fast chicanes. You've got 1 slow chicane with big old sausages that some cars like the sausages, some cars don't. You have at the very top of the circuit that fast left-hander that's off camber but very, very quick. You know, you've got a little bit of everything here. Very, very quick track as well. And it looks like, where are we? We are at the bottom of the hour, so we are actually now starting qualifying. Yeah, we started qualifying. So, what would be nice to do is to do a quick track map, or a track walk
Trying to find out who's up there first. Moses.
Somebody. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm gonna follow.
So I got Moses on the screen. He's the first guy.
Okay. Yeah, I see him. All right. So what we'll do is when Chris crosses the finish line, I'll do like a quick track talk. Give you my 10 cents of what makes a fast lap around Imola. This, as I said, this is like one of my, this probably is my favorite track because I'm probably best at this track. My best lap was, I believe it was like a 41.6 or 41.5 I once did in the BMW, you know, with a very, very optimal track that was very, very well rubbered in. But, you know, once you get it hooked up here, you know, you really can get some serious time. And there's some tricks that you have to make to actually get that kind of time out of the car. And, you know, it's not a question of braking deep, it's a question of getting on the power early, especially with these chicanes, because you've got, what, 1, 2, 3, you've got 4 chicanes that you've got to not overcook. Yeah. But anyway, here's Chris. He is going into the last corners, which are both called Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2. And we are going to go down the pit straight and going to reach 6th gear towards the end of the straight here before he hits the Tamburello chicane, which of course, as we were saying, used to be just a flat out left-hander that, you know, it was an easy corner. But here we go now. It's really difficult, this corner. You've got to really sacrifice the entry for the exit and get back on the power, which he's done beautifully. Coming down this straight here to the Villeneuve chicane that used to be just for a right-hander. You've got to do the same here as you did in that previous chicane, which is, you know, to get an early turn in. And as we hit the Tosa hairpin, take a really, really close to the inside but not touch the curb because it does unsettle the car. Now as you go over the crest here, it's a blind crest before you brake, and into the left-hander at Piratella, it's really important to see and hit that apex. Get on the power early. You're going down the hill here into Aqua Minerale, which has changed many, many times over the years. Remember 1982, Riccardo Patrese crashing whilst in the lead here. And Chris makes it really, really well and comes up to the Varianta Alta, which is the high point of the circuit. Really, really difficult part of the track. You've got to go over those curbs if you're going to get a good lap, and you've got to have a good car in order to do that. Then we come down once again to the Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2. They're kind of off camber, at least that first one is off camber. So you've got to really, really make sure you hit the apex. Once again, Ravazza 2, early on the gas to get you all the way down the straight, because you know what? If you get on the gas too late, you're going to lose a second because this straight is very, very long. That first lap, wowee,
oh, nice
1 minute, 41.5. Hello.
Yeah.
I think I'll retire. I'm going to retire for good, I think, Mike.
It is. That was, he's been sitting in the lead. Look at that. Derek's first 2 seconds off.
Yeah. And that's on your first lap.
Yeah.
So his times are not up to temperature. That's amazing.
That is insane. What if they drop that one down to a 41 flat or something? Oh, man.
I don't know, but he can do a Senna now, or a Prost rather. He can now go straight back into the pits.
And sit.
Yeah. And eat an ice cream. I don't think anyone's going to beat that.
Don't think so?
No. I think they'll get close. I think your Carlo, Chris Bourne, John Saunders, they might sneak into the 41s, but they're not going to do a 41.5.
Watching all the weird sounds on the stream, and I don't know where they're coming from. And
yeah, Craig is saying this is unwatchable.
Yeah.
Soundtrack is what soundtrack? So you use the audio.
There's all sorts of weird soundtracks in the background here, and they're not showing up. I just got the soundtrack of the game somehow.
just went faster. 41.4.
Now I may have solved some of my problems here. You guys tell me if I'd improved things. There, somebody just said I've got it off. Oh, jeez, what a strange bug that was. Anyway, so yeah, things are cooking here. Well, lots of guys in the 41s, low 42s, the first top four, right?
Yeah, 41.4 for Chris Moses, Carlo Vanderbrand, 42 flat.
Just sit here and watch Murch, who's getting a good time. Actually, Saunders just went into second place. He had a good time.
Yeah, not far off, 41.6.
Sounds like we finally solved it. Somebody said stream is better. So
Yep,
sorry,
Craig
guys.
says it's better.
All right. The audio on these softwares are not very much fun. Chris Bourne's making a little move here. Where is he on the track coming up to the start-finish line? He's got a half a second in his time. That should help him get up there in the top 5 at least. There he goes, number 4.
P4. Yeah, the Lambo is actually very good around here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that? Because you can brake on the straight and then... Because it doesn't like braking in corners, does it?
No, it actually does. So there's this technique of braking and turning in, and when you do that, you can get some really good rotation. And here, you need that because you've got those 4 chicanes that to negotiate. So, getting that turn in and getting early on the gas is really important. The only problem with the Lambo is it hates the curb. So those, the sausages at Variante Alta, if you touch them, you are off.
Okay.
See, Chris has ducked into the pits. He's made a few changes and he's heading back out. Let's see who else we've got here.
Howells has got a little bit of a lap going. Where is he in his? Oh, he's early in his lap. Nobody's making too much progress there except for Howells. Let's just flip over to Howells. I think that's what I'm watching here now. Yep. Don't seem to have his livery. And he's coming up. He is 4/10 of a second. Coming up the start-finish line. That should get him into about 9. Top 10 for sure.
Mr. Buckley, you're not racing? Yeah, Bruce, you're the fast Nissan. That needs to be in the field, mate. Something tells me that Brucey Babe is going to be in Group 1 next season.
I didn't see how Don did there. He had some good laps there, and he was led a few practice races for sure and had a great time, but I don't think he did as well this morning as he would have wanted to. He's getting nervous about having to go into Group 1. He's got 2 first places.
Oh yeah, he doesn't want to go into Group 1.
No,
he doesn't. I mean, the thing is, right? It is nice to be, racing in the top 5 or the top 3, or winning races. Once you start winning races, anything less than that is just not good enough. So I get it, and I think he told me that the last race that his qualifying time wouldn't have got him in the top 20 in the
Is
Group
that right?
1 race.
Wow. These guys are just
Something like that.
Effect,
Something like that, which is like, it's soul destroying. It really is.
I think the times were 1:43s or 2s for this morning. Oh, Chris Smith just went off. So Carlos, let's go to Carlos. Carlos got a good lap going. Just about to jump on, and he is going to improve by not quite enough for second place, I don't think. No, just off by 1/10 of a second. He looks like he's going to go into the pits and maybe try something. But everybody put out such good laps, they're not really improving that much. Early good laps. 4 more minutes left. Can anybody? Well, Saunders, I guess, is the guy who's got the closest time. He's on track now. Let's just follow him for a bit.
Yeah, he's the one to watch, mate.
He's not really improving his time now. I think he's on an outlap right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, heck. So you've got Chris, John, and Carlo within 3/10. They're all in the mid 41, so I'll eat my hat there. But what did I say? Like 41,
yeah,
41 and a half, like thereabouts. But I think Chris can go faster. He's not faster on this lap, but he's just about to start another one.
And I'm not sure how the game works in terms of rubbering in the track during the pre-practice that we're doing. I know it sure gets better occasionally.
It definitely gets better during qualifying. It definitely, even though it says optimum to begin with, it gets better throughout the qualifying session. There's no doubt about it. You need to be on track the whole time. So Chris has started a new lap, and he's green. He's going into the second chicane.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
He's gaining time, and he's gaining. Well, he just went on the grass a little bit there, so he lost the time that he had gained. Going into Tosa. Oh, he just touched the curb.
Saunders is still doing all right. That's what I'm watching on the stream, and he's got a 1/10 of a second, which could get him pole. Oh, he just lost some of it. What is he doing? He's got a couple of corners left. Ravaza, he's got to do some magic at Ravaza, I think.
I think Chris has got at least 2/10 in him.
Oh yeah. So Saunders is matching his pace.
Actually, Chris is now green by a 1/10. He's going into Variante Alta. See what he can do here. Working really heavily on the curves, but he got a really good exit.
He sure did.
He's almost 2/10 up. See where he goes. Coming into Ravazza. Lost a little bit of time. He lost it all there. He's back in the green. I know, yeah, he got a great exit there.
He got a 1/10 of it. 1/10 of a second on that last corner. Amazing.
Yeah, so he's improved by 2/10, but you know what? I think he's got at least another 2/10 in him. So now, look at that, John Saunders, 3/10 behind.
He got and saved a few seconds in his last. Looks like he's got some traffic ahead of him though.
You saw what he did though there, but so you saw it go. He was green, and then when he went to Ravazza, it went red, and then he went green again. And what that was the difference between his last fastest lap and the lap he was on. Yeah. But that last fastest lap, he had gone deeper and he had got on the gas later. So this time you could see it seesawing, right? So you saw it go into red because he braked earlier, but he was able to get on the gas earlier as well, which gave him all of that extra time on the exit and going all the way down the straight. So that was actually a really, really good indicator of what you need to do for a fast lap around here. You've got to brake earlier, get on the gas earlier.
And further down, is anybody making any improvements? Enough. Kenny's got a little bit of improvement going. That should jump him up a spot or two.
Yeah, he's looking good. P4.
No, I'm looking at Fleinstadt. Oh, Merch has got a. That can't be right. Merch said
no,
he seconds.
I just watched. He straight lined a Variante Alta, so he's 3 seconds up. He'll be in the 39s.
But Kenny's got a lap going there. He's got 2/10 coming up. He should jump up 2 or 3 spots with this one. He's in 8th. Should get to at least 7th. Yeah, he just got 7th. So how's Saunders doing? Saunders is still in the green.
Yeah, Meche, that last lap was a 39.6 by straight lining the chicane.
Merch
I like his style.
He's taking race notes. He's taking race notes. I got two track cuts. I got two track cuts.
You get 3 seconds right there. That's excellent. Steve Howells in P11 is improving. He is down at the Tosa hairpin, and he's almost half a second up. So that will actually put him well into the top 10 if he can carry this on. He's currently 0.6 up. He's really gaining time.
Yeah, he has. Oh, we lost it there.
Breaking down into Aqua Minerali. He's getting he got an
Who you
okay exit.
Who are you watching? How?
Steve Howells
Yeah, I see
in
that.
P11.
Yeah, there we go.
Breaking for Varianta Alta. Gets on the curb just a little bit. Oh,
That's going to get him some spots if he can hang on.
Yep. Yeah, he's lost a lot of time there. Yeah, he got really squirrely, so
he was pushing hard. Still, he'll get up to probably. Ooh, lost a little bit there again. Nope.
Yeah, I missed that apex, and you can see what happened there. Yeah, he missed the apex, so he's lost all that time. But he's got a good. I think he can improve by a good 6-7 tenths.
He's the only Honda, isn't he? Yeah, I think so. He's the only Honda.
Yeah, qualifying is over. Okay, it went by so quickly, didn't it?
Yeah,
damn. Wow, what happened? So Chris Moses on pole, and he improved for 41.252. John Saunders P2, Carlo Vanderbrandt P3.
So I'm going to go on to a video here so that we can just get set up and maybe try a track walk if I'm brave.
Do it.
Why is it not showing me though? What I'm up to?
I can hear my wife vacuuming upstairs.
Oh, I don't know if you're off camera here. Hold on.
Stop vacuuming. Yep. Why is the stream showing Barcelona? You can turn it back on if you want. We're on the grid with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. $50 seconds. Yep, I see it.
I guess we're back. Let's get away from that camera view. Let's go to Helicam. And guys on the video, on the stream, can you tell us what our voice is back? What are they watching?
So we've got 20 seconds on the board before they start their parade lap, or parade half lap, or quarter lap. So what's going to happen here? So we've got 3 insanely fast guys in the top 3. Chris Moses, John Saunders, Carlo Vanderbrandt. We've seen this first the first 3 races that, you know, these guys are all extremely fast, extreme competitors, and there's always something interesting happening. We've got a pit stop to get through. You can see Carlo, or no, that's John, has pushed ahead at the start here. There's some intimidation going on already. We've seen these guys crash before. You know, I want to see them crash. I want to see some fat, close racing. I want to see controversy, wherever you say it, wherever you are. Who's going to win this one?
Oh, good question, huh? I'm going to go with Saunders today.
Yeah, I'm going with Carlo.
All right.
I think we're going to see some action between John and Chris, and Carlo's going to pick up the pieces and walk away. But here we go.
Takes forever to get to that spot, doesn't it?
Yep, we've got 18 runners as well. And away they go.
Just what, that first corner with these guys?
Yep, Chris is taking the initiative for the first corner. John is following him. Carlo's still
Everybody's
in P3.
clean. Everybody's clean. Oh. Chris has got a good... The first 2 guys just took off, didn't they?
Yep. Merche just had to back up on Chris Bourne a little.
A little bit of knocking there, but fairly nice and clean. That's actually nice and clean. But Saunders and Moses have just taken off, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got a second on Carlo so far, but let's see how it settles down. Something happened to Peter LaFrance. He's 20 seconds behind. Did he start from the pits, maybe?
Ooh. Got a bad start in the sense of what do they do if you speed on the start, you get thrown to the pits, don't you? Or you got out of your box. How's the stream chat? Lost mine for some reason.
So Chris Moses is already a second ahead of John, and they're coming to finish the lap 1. This doesn't all go well for a good race if Chris is just gonna scamper away. And Carlo is another second behind John. But we're only 1 lap down, so we've got plenty of time to go. We've got pit stops to come as well.
Lots of stuff going on behind. They're not spreading out the motor. Just when somebody went off. I'm trying to think of who that is. Don't see a yellow flag. I don't know he went off. I recognize the spot. Ooh, who's that?
That's Derek.
That's Derek making a move. I think so. In the Porsche. Oh, is he going to do the inside out?
He's trying the outside of Kenny Flenstadt. And Kenny's going to push him out a little bit. No, he's giving him plenty of room. Coming out of Tosa, but yeah, he's got Steve Howells.
No.
And he's clipped Steve Howells.
Oh no!
He didn't see him there. He clipped him, and I'm sure Derek has now got a crap load of
damage.
Yeah, damage. Yeah, and he stopped. He stopped. That was unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we kind of caught it, however.
Yeah, and Derek has gone back to the pits.
That's too bad. It was an interesting little spot. Who was it that he hit? Who was just behind him?
He hit Steve Howells.
Oh, Howells, okay.
Yep.
Maybe Howells is trying to take advantage of that little...
Yeah, he just hit him in the quarter panel, and it was enough to spin him around, unfortunately.
There's Carlos, and for second and third is a good little race.
Yeah, Carlo has closed up on John Saunders. He was a second behind at the end of lap 1. End of lap 2, he's half a second behind. So hopefully it looks like he has the pace of John.
He had the third best in the third segment. And now he's got the best in the first segment. So he's got some pace, that's for sure. You picked Carlo, didn't you?
I sure did.
And Carlo, not Carlos.
Correct.
Thanks for correcting that.
Let's see. Kenny Smith is in P4. He's just like about a second and a half behind the P2 battle, and he's kind of watching to see what's happening. And then he has Merche Paunoff behind him in P5. So Paunoff got past Chris Bourne, which we didn't see. Chris had gotten the better start and was ahead of Merche at the end of lap 1. Yeah, Chris looks like he's struggling a little bit for pace. Then you got Billy Stewart in P7, who's chasing Chris Bourne, and AJ Jones chasing Stewart in P8.
There's a lot of battles.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of races we've had AJ has been in the top like 3 or 4, so it's kind of unaccustomed to seeing him in P8. And he's being hassled by Kenny Flenstead, Tony Whitten in P10, Steve Howells has probably got some front end damage, I imagine. He's in P11. Adam Crashy Rios in P12. Jaime Goddard P13 in the Porsche. Rogerio Santos in P14 in his McLaren. Krista Hjort in his absolutely beautifully liveried McLaren. And by the way, his clothes, he wears all the team clothing as well, so he matches his car, which is kind of cool. Kevin Torrance in 16th, Peter LaFrance in 17th, and Derek Bird in 18th. He's sitting in the pits, unfortunately.
Puddles had a little rough half lap here. He got a little ragged, so he's fallen back a little bit. And Ken Smith is caught up to him a little bit.
Yeah, she's less than a second behind now.
But Moses pulling away 3.7 seconds right now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's
he's got his
deal already, isn't it?
Yeah, he's the only one to hit the 141s. Best lap.
Wow, he's in the 141s in race trim with full fuel. That's true alien right there. He's our poor Peter Wolfschleiner, basically.
Yeah. Kenny has got something going here. He's not going to try it to the chicane. He's really harassing Jones, that's for sure. Watch out from the helicam through Ravaza. Oh, it's a terrible view, isn't it? There's a better one. They didn't pick a very good sky view for that camera angle. Is he going to get him on the straight? That's a BMW against an Audi. The Audis, I think, have more pace on the straights, don't they? Although he's getting a bit of a draft, I think.
You know, the BMW's got really good low end and mid range. That's not so amazing on the top end, but you know, on average, it's better than most.
Rios is making a move here.
He's trying. He's having a go at Steve Howells.
The cockpit for a bit.
I'm going to check out Steve Howells' car, see if he has any damage.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
And he does. So he has damage on that front right quarter panel.
Okay.
So you just know that his aero is probably not as good as it could be. So he's going to be vulnerable at the end of the pit straight, basically, to Adam Rios. Other than that, I mean, this circuit is so twisty.
Kenny's making a move here. At the same spot, he catches up with him in the chicane. He's going to stay with it. Oh, look how close he is. He's going to give it a run.
Yeah, AJ knows what to do, though.
Oh,
he knows he needs to do the block on the left, though. This is a really good opportunity to overtake. It's my favorite spot to overtake in this track for sure. But the guy in front of you needs to kind of capitulate, you know. Otherwise, you'll either crash or you're just not going to be able to get past.
Is that traffic ahead of these two guys? Nope,
no,
that's not. That's
Billy Stewart.
Yeah. There must be traffic though, because Stewart's down, isn't he? Oh, no, it should be Bourne. It's showing Bourne as in 7th.
Yeah, AJ is in P8. Chris Bourne is in P7 in the Lambo. Then Billy is P6. And the car ahead of him, the red car, is Merche in that Marlboro car.
I'm looking at the screen, and the screen is showing the wrong.
AJ got a good run down into Tosa, but yeah, he's got the block on him. And Kenny's got a great exit out of Tosa. But this just isn't. This is not an overtaking spot though. It just isn't. You'll crash. And he got onto the dirt, did Kenny? So he's missed that apex.
He lost that little layer.
Yep. And that spot also, it's very easy to get a track penalty right there. You got to make sure if you do go over, you got to get off the gas.
Howells is caught up to Adam, or did Adam pass him?
Adam passed him.
Yeah, Adam passed him.
Adam got him. Yeah.
But Howells is staying with him. They've caught up with Winton.
Yeah, Adam is right behind Tony Whitten. It's definitely a worthy little battle. Let's see if he can get him at the end of the straight. And at the same time, if we look at this battle from Adam's perspective, we can actually see the Flenstead-Jones battle ahead of him.
Okay, hold on. Yeah.
So Adam, he is a little bit faster than Tony on the straight by the looks of it.
Yeah, he caught up a little bit there.
And he's not using as much track as he could. So you see how he was losing the middle of the track when he really could have been on the outside of the track, made the corner a little bit shallower. It's just these little things that make you faster.
And this track lets you use those kind of things too, because it's nice.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not a Ferrari test track for nothing. What is happening up at the front? Carlos is back close to Saunders, but I don't think he can get him.
Yeah, he's less than a second behind. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's really not challenging. He's 7/10 behind, but he's not close enough where, he can make any significant challenge. But it's like we were talking about this in the stream for the Group 2 race, which is if the car in front loses half a second, to their fastest lap, and the guy behind is half a second ahead, then that's a full second that you can catch up. So a gap like this, 7/10 of a second, it can go to nothing very, very quickly. But these guys are very, very consistent.
Yep. And they know how to defend.
Oh, I say that, but then Carlo just made a complete mess of that first chicane, the exit. He got it a little bit squirrely and had to get off the gas completely. And now John is a good couple of seconds up the road. So he's 2.2 seconds up the road. So
and Kenny's right behind him now.
Yep. And Kenny is, he's at 0.8 of a second behind. So Kenny's he's rubbing his hands together. He's like, okay, come on, Carlo, do that again, and I can get ahead of you. Let's see, P5 is Merche. He's a little bit lonely right there, but when you're in no man's land, you're kind of looking both ahead and behind. And Billy is in the same kind of situation, but he's a good 4 seconds ahead of Chris Bourne in 7th, who has AJ another second behind him, so they're starting to spread out a little bit. But then Kenny is close to AJ, and he's definitely challenging him.
These three, and then this one here.
Hey, Elto Chino Rapido! What's up, my man?
They're catching up to Chris Bourne too. That far ahead.
Yeah, he's got a second on AJ, and he's got to be really hustling that Lambo. you know, hats off to Chris, because you know he's put himself in a car that we said it a couple of streams ago, that you know it's really the underdog. It's not known to be like the best car. So there are certain tracks where I think it's going to excel, and one of them is, you know, for sure Monza, and probably Spa. I've seen people do just insane laps at both of those tracks with the Lambo. But
And he tried something there and it didn't work. Now he's
he went far too deep.
Yeah.
Completely missed the apex. You know, these chicanes, you have to hit that first apex. If you miss it, you are going to completely screw it up.
Adam is getting anxious.
Adam is getting anxious. Yeah, I can tell he's sweating in that cockpit of his. So Adam, he's got this great setup.
He got squirrely a little.
Tony did get squirrely, but he's not going to overtake here though. Otherwise he's asking for a crash.
Let's see if he got patience. No, he's trying.
But Adam's got this great setup with amazing hardware, and he's kind of enclosed himself in. And actually, he's got Steve Howes on his tail right now as well. It's actually Steve Howes is closer to him than he is to Tony.
Whoa.
Oh, he's going to hit him. That's far too deep. Way in there. That's what she said.
So that drops him back. Oh, did he hit him? Oh, he almost hit him.
He almost tagged him.
Almost. Also not a great place to. I don't think that was trying to pass there.
So Adam, as I was saying, Adam has got this great setup, but he's enclosed it, like, I don't know, with I'm not sure, like drywall panels or something. So it gets pretty hot in there.
Oh, I see.
So he's probably sweating like crazy right now. He's lost some time there to Tony by overcooking it. So like I said, you know, you overcook those chicanes, you miss the apexes completely, and you lose a ton of time the next portion of the lap, or the next straight. And you know, he's lost a good second and a half over Tony.
But it shows
happening up front.
Yeah, they're spread out quite a bit now. A couple of seconds between them.
They are. Yeah, I think our closest battle higher up is AJ and Chris Bourne. So Chris P7, AJ is like 3/10 behind him.
What it's showing to me though is like these four or five guys we've been watching. You can't, you know, they're all pretty well matched. You can kind of take a little bit of a risk at some of them when you're farther behind, but you can't do it when you're up 2 feet from somebody's bumper, because they seem to be catching back up with each other all the time. Like AJ's on Chris, and Howells is still kind of up there with Rios.
Yeah, well, some of these guys are going to be looking at the pit stops to get ahead. So for sure, AJ is faster than Chris. Adam is faster than Tony. And Steve Howells, actually, he's got some decent pace now again. So, you know, some of these guys are definitely going to be looking to the pit stops to gain some places. The question is, are you the first to blink?
Yeah.
Or do you wait for another guy in front to blink?
Yeah. AJ's really putting the pressure on Chris. Lambo pull away in the straight. Watch his time.
Well, they're both similarly powered, aren't they? Yeah. They both have that same V10 block.
Well, he must be getting a draft because he caught up a little bit in that back part of the straight. Chris staying away. He sure stays away from those rumble strips, or the strips, I should say, the sausages. Rios is caught back up with Tony.
The thing about those sausages also is that something that people don't do, and this is a suggestion to try it. So when you just before you go over the sausage curb, change up a gear. You'll get less wheel spin, and you're more likely to actually get through it without spinning out.
And some cars can take them, right? Some cars can take those.
Oh yeah. Some can, but some can't. Like a really good barometer of this, what I'm describing, is at Monza, the which chicane? It's that last chicane. The, what do we call it? Ascari. So the Ascari chicane, the last part of the chicane, there's a giant sausage.
Yeah.
And if you go over that sausage in 4th gear instead of 3rd, you could just breeze straight through it. and it just doesn't unsettle the car. And a lot of that is the case here as well. So try that at home, folks.
There's a couple that look on the screen to be the same height, but they totally unsettle the car.
And AJ's coming.
AJ's going into the pits. Okay, he's the first one to blink, I think.
Yep, he sure is.
Let's see amongst these two, or three. I said three. Shouldn't say three. When you go by the pits, the timing tower was all wacko. But these two are close together, so it's going to be a pit strategy here too. I wonder if Adam will go in first because he thinks he's got more pace. And whether he thinks he can get a good pit time. Some people are not as good at pitting as others.
Yep.
Because you can lose 3 or 4 seconds real easy, depending on where you stop.
You can lose 10 seconds very easily in the pit stop. Let's face it. Get it slightly wrong.
This is an interesting one. I like this pit entry though, because you got a nice line there. You slam on the brakes, and you're down to the right speed.
I don't think Peter David would agree with you.
Oh, did he go through?
Yeah, he got a drive through this morning while running in P2. So yeah.
Well, it's definitely an easy one for a braking point, that's for sure. Well, Kenny's caught up to Chris again. There's another one we can watch pit stop strategies. So close together, and whether Kenny is feeling frustrated he can't get by him. He got a good exit there. Let's see if he's going to try. Nope, backed off a little. Let's see if he went for the exit instead, the good exit instead. I think he did get it. Oh, hey, there you go. Chris went into the pits.
He did. That's interesting.
Yep.
So Chris Bourne, he knows that he was definitely slower than AJ. So he knows that, with AJ going into the pits, he's got nothing else that he can possibly do other than pit in the next lap and hope that AJ has a bad outlap. I'm on AJ's outlap right now, and it's looking okay.
So here's the last one in terms of pit strategy. It's Rios and Howells. And now how much those guys that are defending the other cut stay out.
So let's see. AJ is coming up on Rivazza right now, which Rivazza 2, he's missed the apex. He's almost in the grass. Or in the sound trap, I should say. He's in Rivazza 2, coming down the pit straight. And Chris Bourne, number 118, is coming out of the pits. Let's see where AJ comes out. It's going to be very close. No, he got him.
Yep.
He got him, actually. He got him very, very easily. So.
Yeah, 3 seconds ahead, didn't he?
Yep.
So that worked out.
Let's see. Adam is still stuck behind Tony Whitten.
There he goes.
Adam is now coming into the pits. Yeah, he just stuck in.
And so did who am I with? I'm with Howells. Howells is right behind him.
Yeah, Howells is right behind him. So it'll be interesting to see. So Steve Howells has damage. So I wonder if he's going to have that damage repaired, which means that it might be up to probably 5 seconds. I want to say 5 or 10 seconds of damage to the front end of that car. He doesn't have a floppy bonnet, but I don't know. It's looked pretty banged up. And by the way, in the chat there, Derek Bird is taking responsibility for his little accident with Steve Howells, but which it's what I would expect from Derek. But I think it was kind of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. But
let's just follow along with Chris for a bit while we're waiting for those guys to come out of the pits.
Yeah, I'm watching from Adam's point of view to see when he comes out.
Give me a shout, and then I'll flip over to him. Looks like Chris has already got some traffic. Let's see who that is. That is Moses is going to the pits. That was Chris Moore ahead of him. I guess they didn't want to have a battle with that. So who do we got? So that means Saunders is up, and Saunders is going into the pits. Huh?
Yeah. And Adam managed to get out ahead of Steve Howell, so status quo there. But where's he going to be in relation to Tony Whitten when Tony comes in?
Yeah, exactly. But now there's only 3 guys who haven't pitted. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No. Carlo and Murch have not pitted.
Yep, and Billy Stewart and Tony Whitten.
Just jumped to the wrong guy there. Let's just follow Carlo. We got a little squirrely there just as we jumped on there. It's from a Helican. It's easier on our ears. So is anybody coming out yet?
No, we've got Chris still in the pits. He just got dropped off of the jacks. He's coming out of the pits, clearly ahead of John Saunders.
Here he comes.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
Halfway through. Here he goes. Coming out in 5th. No traffic around him. That's good.
No,
That's good.
pretty lonely, I think.
Yeah. Everybody's pretty lonely right now. Everybody on the track has all got big gaps. So we'll see when Carlo and Murch go in.
What about, let's see, Tony Whitten?
There
Tony
goes
Whitten is
Carlo.
he's coming out of the pits right now, is Tony.
Carlo just went in the pits because he was coming up with the traffic. We're following along with Tony now. And Tony, where is he in relation to? Who is he behind? Adam, isn't he?
So yeah, he was in front of Adam.
He's still way in front.
So he's still in front, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he gained a lot. Because he gained a lot.
Yeah, he's gained 2 seconds, so kind of.
Yeah.
So,
we'll
so
see
Adam doesn't have the pit stop now to get ahead of him. So now he's just got to go balls out and try and get past.
And Howells lost. He lost about 3 seconds there. So he did.
Yeah, he lost, and I think
some,
that was due to that, to fixing that damage.
Yeah. Okay, so the top 4 guys haven't pitted yet. No, Carlo's in the pits. Sorry.
Carlos in the pits. Yeah, Merche is now leading. And Billy Stewart is P2, Peter LaFrance P3, but none of those 3 guys have pitted yet.
And they are. LaFrance is 40 seconds ahead of Carlo. So they'll all be down back in their spots, I think. Billy here for a bit. Billy and Murch. Is that Murch up ahead?
Yeah, Murch is sliding his way around Rivazza. I'm imagining he's going to come into the pits. No, he stayed out. He's gone for the glory.
Billy hasn't got it either.
Who can blame him, eh? It's nice to be in the lead.
Take a screenshot while you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
See if LaFrance comes in this time. Nice Canadian livery.
Yeah, it's a great livery, isn't it?
Little overkill on the Maple Leafs. He's not coming in on the pit. He's staying out also.
Where's your patriotism, sir? Honestly, I think when I see that car, I think of Canadian Mounties and mooses or moose or whatever, and snow and ice and stuff.
Maple syrup.
Yes.
Syrup.
Yep.
Well, here we go. Adam is back on. Tony's tail.
Yeah, it didn't take him long, did it?
No.
He's so much faster than him, let's just face it.
It's the only battle we really have position going on right now.
Yeah. He needs to get past him. He needs to think about where he needs to where he's faster, where the opportunity is.
BMW and an Aston Martin. Quite a few Aston Martins today. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6. 2 McLarens. Only 1 Porsche. Oh, you went
Yeah,
deep.
that's too deep there.
Yep,
That's just
yep,
way
you
too
couldn't
deep
hold on to
right
it.
there. Yeah, he was balls deep there.
He's pushing. Yeah, it's hard not to push when you're trying to catch up, but you got to know how far you can go. Otherwise, you lose time. 'Cause that's where the laps count, or laps after laps that you do during the week.
Oh, he's way wide. Is Adam there? Oh dear.
It's not
Yeah, he's
doing
just
anything.
trying. Yeah, he's
too hard.
trying too hard. Yeah, just, chill it out a little bit. And he definitely has the speed, but he's just going to destroy his tires doing what he's doing. He's also going to give Steve Howells the opportunity to close up.
Yeah, Steve's not that far behind. You can see him. There he is. See how smooth Steve is.
And this is not to take anything away from Tony Whitten either, because he's driving really, really well. He's not making any mistakes. He's driving smoothly. He's quick. And he's keeping Adam behind him. Let's see, Peter LaFrance is finally in the pits.
Just going on replay here. Oh, that's what happened. Went over the curb.
So the closest battle we have, other than Adam and Tony, is Meche and Kenny Smith in 5th and 6th. And there's a second between them.
Yeah.
So everything's pretty spread out now.
Well, let's just watch these two for a while. Kenny.
Yeah, Elto, you're right. It is a matter of picking a perfect moment, not just to send it, but where you can get on the gas, get a better exit from any specific turn. And you know, if you're too close to the car in front, right, going into a turn, and you get a slightly better exit, you sometimes you'll have to lift because you've got a car in front of you. So you've got to have that perfect balance of having a little bit of space between you and the car in front, whether it's a couple of meters or whatever it is, and being able to get on the gas a little bit earlier than the car in front as well, get a better exit, and take advantage of it on the following straight.
Yeah, this truck's all about exits, isn't it?
It is, yeah
'Cause
absolutely.
There's a whole bunch of small straights and then the big long one, but a lot of small straights that you can take advantage.
I mean, all circuits are about apexes, right? If you miss an apex, you will be slow. There are some corners where you can go far, you can eat way more than the apex, right? You know, you can be all over a curb and it'll gain you an extra half a second, and it really does. But it's knowing where those spots are, where the tricks are. So like at Misano, for example, you know, there's so many curbs there that you can just ride absolutely all over them, and others where, you know, you try and do the same thing, you'll get a track limit warning. But it's a matter of knowing exactly what you can get away with and where. Like right here, Macqua Minerale, you go all over those curbs. On the inside, on the right-hand side, those two right-handers, you want to be all over those curbs. You'll gain so much time by doing that, and I'm not seeing folks do that. I just watched Kenny. He was nowhere near those curbs.
You can tell you're not going to be racing for a few months because you're giving us all your secrets.
I know, I am. Dude, I might not be racing. I might not be racing for a year. I don't know.
Oh, it's too bad.
Who knows? if I do race, it'll be once in a while. I can't do it consistently.
Oh, I hate this view. Yeah, it's too bad about your elbows, man. It's and like you were saying, we were talking before, it takes a long time for that kind of an injury to recover. You just, anything that you do inflames it.
Yep.
And you get so anxious to try to get going instead of just tell me. I don't know what I had it for a while. Just tell me what I need to do, you know, to make it better. They say nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at this. Adam is caught up again with Tony. Take a look at his view. There it is.
Yeah, so what Nikos is saying in the chat is what I was just talking about. He said, what's really frustrating is to have a perfect turn and a perfect exit, but just because you're too close to the car in front, you have to lift. And that's just it. You've got to manage that gap so that you don't have to lift and you have enough space to get by them on that next straight.
Yeah, I remember watching a great video by Eris about that. Just exactly that. You know, you lift a little bit because you know you can't be right in the guy's tail because then you'll end up braking where you don't really want to.
Yeah, well, you can't drive straight through someone.
No,
you can't.
No,
We've seen people do that.
And not everybody has exactly the same braking style around a corner, so.
No, absolutely not.
Let's watch Adam for a while. He's caught right up again, so obviously he's got the pace. I'm sure Tony hasn't made any mistakes. Yeah, that video from Eris is amazing. It's exactly what he says. Give it 2 car lengths on your entry that you know you're faster, and hit that entry. Tony just went off a little bit. Your entry speed can be exactly the same as if flat out, and then you'll gain.
Yep, it's all in the racecraft, you know. It's all in the racecraft. It takes a long time, not just hot lapping, but actually racing to figure it out.
And this league's getting a lot better, actually, defending-wise, and for exactly this stuff. Maybe not all of us are great on the racecraft, but there's been a huge progression in everybody in terms of the racing. Chris is also caught up to AJ.
Yeah, Bruce, I wasn't referring to what happened in the Group 2 race, mate. I know you did give that position back. And I know you'll definitely have learnt from that experience as well, because you were so close to the car in front. And it was the last couple of laps. What are you going to do? You're racing. But yeah, you gave that position back. That was awesome.
Adam's right back up on Tony. What we got going here? 12 minutes left and 13 minutes left in the race. Maybe some fatigue catching up to people.
Yeah, I'm watching from Adam's perspective, and he really needs to nail that Variante Alta. He needs to be just nailing that and getting on the gas earlier, and it would give him an opportunity to overtake into that first Ravazza. But he just can't do it.
We're not all machines like you, Jonathan. Lap after lap, exactly the same. That's what it takes, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets to a certain point. Yeah, and with enough practice, yes.
Yeah. Can you imagine a 24-hour racer where you're on for hours? Oh no, he did it again. He just tries too hard in that. Yeah.
Way too deep.
Yeah,
way too deep.
The second time he's tried that. Yeah.
He wants to be doing the opposite. Oh, and here comes Steve Howells.
Yep. Oh, Howells just laid back.
Yeah, Steve lifted.
Let's see. Let's go back and watch that actually from Howells' point of view. Oh, a little too late. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, Howells went wide too. All right. Back in.
Yeah, he did. He went way wide. He's actually lucky he held on to that.
Yeah.
He got all excited.
Yeah.
I went into the gravel.
So look at that. Adam lost 3 seconds on that, but now he's got Steve up his tail. At least we get a race out of it. And how's Chris doing on Kenny? Same.
Yeah, I mean, Adam is proving that closing up under braking is not helpful with a circuit like this. It's just not. At least not to that degree. It's fun to watch, though.
Yep. Yeah, well, hey, we can all learn from it, too. All those Group 2 guys that are watching the video are all taking notes. Glad to have you on the stream, too, Jonathan. It's fun to listen to.
Well, I'm constantly watching these guys who are like, always faster than me. Your Chris Bournes and Carlo and Chris Moses, Derek Bird. These guys who, like you were explaining, a great lap after lap after lap. They're just super consistent. Just to see what I'm not doing.
Oh, I wasn't watching. We were on the board with
that Steve Howells.
Let's just go back and watch how that happened. Oh, just lost it. Just overcooked it a little. Back end got around on him.
Oh yeah, he did. He got it just a little bit off going in.
Yep.
And then as he turned in, he grabbed too much on the inside, and it spun him around.
Yep.
Clearly, that Honda is not that good over those curbs.
Did he hit the curb? I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can murder the curbs in the BMW.
Well, everybody's now spread out, so maybe we'll let's just watch Mr. Moses for a little bit. How much time we got left? 10 minutes left in the race.
Yeah, another 9 minutes, mate.
I'm just looking at the segment times there. He's got Carl's got first segment, so Chris obviously has the best lap time, but Carlo is only 0.2 of a second off the fastest lap.
That fastest lap is a 41.6. It's amazing. And he's still going. I mean, the last lap he did a 41.8.
That's why he's got a 14-second gap. Consistency. Because both Carlo and John Saunders have 41s. 41.8 for Carlo and 41.9 for John, but they can't do that lap after lap, I guess.
That's very difficult. Yeah, Stefan's saying that the pressures start to decrease during the race and the temps drop. They do at this track, for sure. So how he's doing 41s is anyone's guess. Steve Howells, apparently somebody is saying that he has a drive-through.
Oh,
he does.
Yeah, he does. Ooh.
He does, yeah. So he must have had 4 off-track moments where he's gained time.
Did he just drop off? Did he go in the pits? I don't see him on the board anymore. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Pitted. No, yeah, he
pitted.
He's
back out again. Yeah.
Yep. It's strange that it'll give you a drive-through for that, but if you speed in the pit lane, it'll give you a 30-second stop and go.
Well, it depends how much. I spun my tires. I ended up, for some reason, I jumped off into second gear, and I was like 20 kilometers over. It gave me a disqualification, actually. And
crap.
Yeah, disqualified me.
Well, maybe it knew you were Canadian as well. Just kidding.
Yeah, I just popped off into second gear for a second by mistake, and because I was like second stall from the exit, and it was funny. I said, "Why disqualification?" So I went back and looked, and spun the tires for a bit. So this is the closest. Adam and Tony are still the closest battle. Let's see if Adam can catch up again. So neither of our picks are. Neither of our picks. Carlo, you picked Carlo, and I picked John, didn't I?
Yeah, so we're both losers.
Yeah, by a lot. I guess we thought he couldn't keep up his pace. Never really got anybody near him either, so.
Yeah, but you know what? My guy is in P2. So, did we miss something? Because what? Or did he get ahead during the pit stops?
Carlos was around. He was ahead all the time, wasn't he?
No, John Saunders was in P2. So
maybe somebody else saw something.
At what point did Carlo get by John? Because I completely missed that. Craig saying he got ahead of him in a pit stop. Wow, excellent.
Okay, there you go.
There it is. Yeah, John was in second place, so at least my pick has beaten your pick.
Okay. There's 5 minutes left. Shall I start watching that now? I'll move over to John. You can see him. See him up in the distance there. Look at this.
Look how many AMRs.
I just looked at that too. Yeah. Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. What's that all about?
I don't know.
Yeah. Good for the manufacturer there. Watch John for a lap since there's not really any more battles. Adam might catch up to Tony near the end, but we'll watch a lap from John, and we'll watch a lap from Carlo. Smooth. Let's watch a Carlo lap. Why do you think it got so spread out in this track? I wasn't expecting that. I thought it'd be a lot more competitive between them.
I don't know. I mean, we've seen quite a lot of mistakes from folks who are getting close to the car in front, and they basically, you know, they run too deep, make a mistake, and then all of a sudden they've lost like 2 or 3 seconds, and then, you know, it's kind of snowballs because they're pushing too hard and they're dropping back, and it's like a constant seesaw of that happening.
Well, would you consider this a technical track then?
I hear a lot about people talking about technical tracks. I don't even know what it means. Isn't every track really a technical track?
Yeah, I guess so. Just seems to me this one you can push too hard and it doesn't get you anywhere. Yeah, this is probably the most spread out race we've had. Would you agree then if you push too hard, then you're going to make a mistake, and then that's not going to help you try to catch up?
Yeah, you know what though? So Adam has now closed the gap down to Tony Whitten to second. So this is probably the only good battle that we've got going now. So for the last 2 laps, let's see if Adam can do a Hail Mary and get past Tony.
Well, he caught right up again.
Oh, yep. And Tony got a little bit squirrely coming out of Aqua Minerale there. But, you know, you've got to be very brave to overtake right here. And Tony's been super consistent over those curbs. So, yeah, and then as he did just then. He did a great job over the chicane.
And it's Tamburello that Adam likes to try to go deep. Whoa!
Oh,
he went deep there.
Looking.
He went deep there.
Come on, Adam, let's do this. And he's got some good speed. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's Tamburello who's been trying, right?
So he got a better exit there. He's ever so slightly quicker. I mean, there's no toe in this game, but he's going. Is Tony going to block the inside? No, he's not. So Adam just needs to outbrake him. This is an easy outbreak. Here we go.
He did it. Can he hang on?
No, he made a hash of it.
Oh, no.
And he's hit him.
Oh, no.
Wow. Yep, there it is.
That was a good battle, though.
That is a good battle, but that should have been a really straightforward overtaking maneuver. He should have braked exactly where he'd been braking the whole race, or maybe even a little bit less. And Tony's wants to give him the place back.
No. I think
Tony,
no.
Tony does not need to give him the place
I don't think
back.
so either.
That was Adam's mistake.
I don't think he's going to give it back. Maybe just slow it down for some reason.
Yep.
No, yeah, you're right. No, that was...
But yeah, that was a pretty straightforward maneuver, but you know, he got excited and braked a little bit too late. And you know, when you're on the inside like that, you've actually got to brake a little bit earlier than normal.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
So...
Well, we'll just watch the leader go through his last lap here. I think I heard in my ear that this was the last lap for the leader. Oh, Adam's catching up again, though.
Yeah, Bruce, I call him Adam Crash Rios, exactly. He's been Adam Crash Rios since I've known him. I've known him for a long time. All the way back to Xbox 360 days playing Forza 3, so yes.
That's where all his bad habits come from, Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we've got 10 seconds left on the clock. And actually, so Adam, he's in the same position as he was before, so this will be the last lap.
Yeah, it is,
He's not quite as close as he was though on that on the previous lap, so I don't think he's going to be able to do the same as he was able to the previous lap. But
Kenny's caught up to AJ.
What's going to happen?
Kenny's caught up to AJ. Something happened there.
Yeah, he's less than a second behind.
Just watch both these as we go. Adam's going to make another crack at it. Didn't get it that time. AJ will be able to defend. Oof.
The leader has finished the race.
And Chris has finished the race in P1. Good job, mate. Domination.
Yeah, whoa, total domination. Let's see if Kenny's going to try something in the last few corners. Oh, he came out a little squirrely there. So that may... I think he's going to catch him now. We'll try one last braking.
Yeah, no, he's too late now.
Let's go back to Adam. These guys have got a good half lap to go yet.
Yeah, Adam's got one more chance, and so he has to get a better exit here.
About the same.
About the same. He's close, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. He might try and send it.
Yeah, here.
If Tony leaves the door open, but is he going to try? No.
There's no door there, yeah.
Yeah, there's no door there.
That was a great battle all day, though.
Yeah, excellent battle. Excellent battle. Both really consistent, you know. You can see Adam was trying really hard to get by. Just he had it in the palm of his hand a couple of laps ago, but he made a slight error. He braked a little bit too late, overshot. But there it is. You know, he won't make that mistake again. Great racing from everyone.
Let's see if we can get who's in the chat. Carlo's there. Maybe we'll get a little comment from him. I'm going to drag him in. Hey, hello, Carlo. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, how did you think that? What did you think of that race?
That was good. It was not bad actually. I mean, I was struggling behind John Saunders, and I was making too many mistakes. But it was a good race, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's everybody was everybody got spread out, and it was all about consistency and not making any small mistakes and people catching up to you.
Yep. Yeah, congratulations to Chris Moses.
Oh, Chris just dominated, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There was some interesting strategies going on for the pit stops, though. But
yes, I gain time when I make a pit stop. I don't know how I actually do it.
Is that where you got ahead of Saunders in the pit stop?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I did, I saw him go in, and I had a few left for one more lap, and I gave it all I could, and I was below my fastest time at the moment I went in. And the trick is, you have to practice a lot with pit stop, but the trick is actually shift it down, brake as late as possible, and then have the pit limiter on as soon as you cross the line. And then I typically switch the engine off and kind of make a rolling stop towards the stop board. And so you have to be lucky sometimes as well that you're not going too fast. But practice makes perfect, of course. It is.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. How far behind were you? Were right behind him on
I was,
the laps just before, though, right?
Yeah, I was 2.5 seconds behind John, and I came out 3 seconds ahead of
Perfect,
him. So
perfect,
basically,
yeah, that's huge.
5.5 seconds gain.
Huge.
Yeah.
Well, good podium finish for you.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, guys, sorry on the stream there. Sorry for the screw ups on the audio at first. I luckily got those all settled, and we'll see you again next week.
See you.
Bye, Jonathan.